Still to this day, scratch my head when I try to find any logical consensus regarding why there seems to be a overwhelming amount of silence regarding what we're now seeing coming to fruition, and that is, of course, all of the European countries alike, all suffering the same fate of a decline in birth rates to a point where it's below replacement level, all at the exact same time, which of course then justifies the continual waves of immigration that seem to be increasing for multiple more reasons for their entry than previously given, and the range of people further and further afield. So, Scottish birth rate is the lowest since records began. And what's Nicola Sturgeon or the government in general doing about it? Let's just open the door to more immigration, because immigration seems to be the key solution to all of these problems that we supposedly face as a society. And I do scratch my head as to how the fuck you can sit there and see this as the best possible way to reverse this problem. Immigration is not, as far as I'm concerned, your plan A. That shouldn't have been your plan A. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I know that it seems to be a thing of the past for lefties like the SNP and all the other parties in Scotland that all seem to be lefties, even the Conservatives to some degree. But having pride in your culture, your heritage, your history, it's a thing of the past. You need to forget all about that and embrace multiculturalism and diversity, because it's our strength. Now, it's very easy to be labelled a white supremacist or a white nationalist or worse to that effect for having the gall to have some form of pride in who I am and where I'm from. And what frightens me is just how fucking quickly all that is going to start to change. It's already changing. With the census coming out in a few years, which will probably see the 4% minority ethnic category jump up to God knows how much. And it's sad in a sense because our government have willingly allowed it to happen, and even now they constantly spew out pro-immigration bullshit, pro-multiculturalism, pro-diversity crap, and any whiff of somebody even alluding to what I've just mentioned, it's racist, it's far right, it's worse to that effect, and it's astonishing really how Scotland, having a history that's fucking quite long, not all of it good, most of it pretty shit, to be honest, but nonetheless, we're a country that's very old, and yet in the space of my lifetime probably, it won't be recognisable. And it's time to be embraced, apparently. The changing face of Scotland, as we keep hearing all about, and I find it pretty fucking rancid, to be honest. Nothing to do with racism or bigotry or xenophobia, but at the end of the day, this has been forced upon us, and whether you like it or not, you're just expected to accept it. Nonetheless. So, obviously you can't tell the empowered women of Scotland that they need to start having children. God forbid you do that. So, let's just open the floodgates to as many people as possible from third world countries, preferably, who have a knack for churning out children willy-nilly. The more the fucking merrier. They're the solution. Anyway, so immigration is good for Scotland. We'll always stand up for it. But this is where I draw issue with this, because there was a time when I didn't really have that much of an issue with immigration either. You know what I mean? But we're now being led to believe that our population is below replacement level. So now you have to be very careful, in my opinion anyway, or the way that it should be as far as I'm concerned. You have to be very careful about who you let in and the level that you let in, the number that you let in, because quite easily it could uneven the scales demographically in years to come. If there's too many immigrants coming over who are of the multicultural type bracket, and there's still a trend of less and less Scottish births, then it's an inevitability that we will be replaced. So it's all very well and good to sit there and sugarcoat your namby-pamby far left rhetoric for all to fucking see in some attempt to prove that you really are a progressive guru, but the reality of the matter is you're playing a dangerous game. And it seems to me that the complete and utter disregard or acknowledgement to that fact sums up the problem with a lot of lefty politicians these days, and that is that they don't give a fuck really about the country that they claim to stand for. They're all about the future, you know, and that is, it's a sad reality, really, that people like that have the means to control a country to some degree. So this UK government's ideological dog whistle opposition to freedom of movement not only makes no economic sense, of course it makes no economic sense whatsoever, but also goes against our moral principles. All your moral fucking principles. The SNP's moral principles. Oh, your moral fucking, get a grip. These proposals represent nothing less than an act of vandalism. They would stifle economic growth, harm businesses, and deprive us of talented, hard-working individuals who make an immense contribution to our society. Oh yeah. No offence to Polish immigrants or whatnot, but come over here and work in Tesco's or Aldi, but I could do that. They're not all fucking doctors and psychologists. And second of all, the SNP have had a God knows how long to sort out the supposed aging population crisis in regards to immigration from the EU, the free movement of people that they could well duly have exploited. They've had fucking years to get in more people, to incentivize more people over here. So if you couldn't do it in all the time that you had, what the fuck makes you think that you're going to be able to do it now if you were to get control of immigration? The fact of the matter is, there's clearly an underlying reason as to why you failed to obtain as much immigration as you would have liked at the time. And that's probably something to do with the fact that it's not really that much of an inciting country to come to in terms of opportunity, regardless of the vile bullshit that leftyville politicians will have you believe. There's clearly an underlying reason as to why immigrants didn't want to come here in comparison to the rest of the UK. Why is this an issue now? You've had multiple years to sort it out. But of course, giving control of immigration to someone like Helmet Head, God knows how many people you would see in a very short space of time. And that's concerning. Immigration is good for Scotland. It enriches us all, and we're proud to defend re-movement. It enriches us all. What sort of shitey excuse is that? I've heard it so many times. It's culturally enriching. What sort of excuse to allow immigration to continue, or at the very least start? It's because it enriches us. At the very least, come up with a substantial argument. Something that could be accepted or debated. Spewing out shit regarding it enriches us all is nothing short of pandering. The UK government's immigration bill goes fundamentally against the Scottish government's approach, which values immigration, passionately defends free movement. Oh God, SNP are getting so fucking cringy. I mean, they've got the cheek to refer to themselves as centre left. I think they missed the memo. They are not centre left. It's an understatement. Oh, which values immigration, passionately defends free movement. Oh, passionate. Well, you don't speak for me in that regard. We believe that immigration power should be devolved, so it's in a position to design a system that addresses Scotland's economic and demographic needs. You'd love to change the demographics. As a result of Westminster's attitude to immigration, our NHS and the care sector are struggling to recruit enough staff. And let's not forget here though, there's 3 countries in the United Kingdom as well as Scotland. Why don't you turn your attention to them? Why do you want so badly to attract people from God knows where? There's always excuses for NHS staff, but as I said already, you've had multiple years, to get this sorted. So don't hand me the BS that it's only now become a problem. Surely you would have known for years before the referendum came and went that this was a potential problem. And even then, you still couldn't incentivize people to come over here. We're loud and clear calling for the devolution of immigration. It's time for Westminster to stop riding roughshod over Scotland's interests and start listening. Oh, dearie me. It would serve the needs of Scotland much better than a system designed in Westminster and would aim to reflect our humanitarian, welcome and open-minded culture. The only reason they're so open-minded and welcoming is because they don't have immigration to the levels that other countries in Europe have. You just watch how attitudes will start to change when the immigration pattern starts to change. Scotland's been quite lucky in that regard, but it's only a matter of time. Like all the rest, will fall to. Another example, the die-hard feminists under Sturgeon's control never once suggest, even remote, not even once do they suggest maybe more babies, incentivise families. Of course, it's all about destroying the family unit in Western civilization at the moment. It's all about empowering women. It's all about feminism. It's all about allowing women to have the career of their dreams, decide to have children in later life, which of course plays a role in less children, even if they do decide to settle down. But that doesn't matter, because you managed to get a job. You managed to fulfill your destiny and achieving gender equality. Scotland has a serious population challenge. This is the lowest ever number of births registered. Scotland needs and wants families who want to make a life and contribute to our society to come here. Now, you want immigration. Sturgeon wants immigration. There might be some SNP supporters that want immigration. But my idea of immigration and your idea of immigration are quite fucking different. And that's the problem. Because allowing you to dictate the pattern of immigration that we would inevitably see if you were given control would spell the complete and utter end for Scotland as we know it. But it doesn't matter to you because diversity is our fucking strength, eh? Peace.